Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into the world of footwear. Well, not just any footwear.
No.
We're going behind the scenes, uncovering the artistry, the skill
Right.
of footwear pattern makers.
Yeah.
Those who take those amazing shoe designs
hmm
and make them a reality.
It's a craft that I think often flies under the radar.
Oh, for sure.
People don't realize how much goes into it.
Right.
It's way more intricate than I think most people would even imagine.
Okay, so imagine this. You have this awesome shoe design, right?
Yep.
I just saw it on a runway in Milan.
Okay.
Gorgeous, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how do we get from that initial sketch to an actual shoe?
That is where the footwear pattern maker comes in.
Okay.
So they are kind of like the
architects?
architects, the engineers,
Mm.
of the shoe world.
Okay.
They take that initial design and they transform it into a very meticulously crafted pattern.
Wow.
Think of it as a blueprint,
Okay.
but instead of a building,
Yeah.
it's for your feet.
That's a much better way to put it
Right.
than what I was going to say. So it's not just drawing pretty lines on a piece of paper.
No.
There are some serious technical skills required here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're using everything from traditional hand tools, like, that have been passed down through generations,
Wow.
to cutting edge software
Mhm.
like CAD.
Okay.
And here's the thing. They need to understand how all those different materials
Oh, right.
behave.
Like how leather stretches.
Yes.
Or how maybe a synthetic fabric would hold its shape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if you're working with, say, stingray leather,
Mm.
which is known for being really tough,
Mm.
you're going to need to factor in extra seam allowance.
Oh, okay.
And think about specific stitching techniques
Yeah.
compared to, if you were crafting a pattern for a canvas sneaker.
Right.
They are masters of their materials.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
I never thought about it that way.
Right.
And it's so interesting that, it might seem like a very niche kind of field, right?
Yeah.
But this guide was explaining that pattern makers even specialize.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Ah.
You'll have some who focus on athletic footwear.
Okay.
You'll have some who work on, high-end designer shoes.
Right.
And then you have those who are really specialized, like those who work with orthopedic footwear. Talk about a specialized skill set.
That's next level.
Right.
Right.
Because not only does it have to look good, but it also has to function properly.
Yeah.
You're thinking about support, alignment, all of that
Right.
for someone with, maybe specific foot conditions.
Right. Right.
So their work can really impact someone's mobility and comfort.
For sure.
Hugely.
It's not just like technical knowledge, right?
No.
The guide also talked about how there's a huge creative element to this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that spark. You need that creative spark, that ability to kind of like look at a two-dimensional pattern
Yeah.
and see the three-dimensional form.
Right.
It's a real blend.
Hmm.
It's art and science coming together.
Wow.
They really are like sculptors.
Okay.
But in the footwear world,
I like that. Okay. So we've talked about the artistry, the technical skills, the specialization,
Yeah.
but let's get real.
okay,
What are the perks?
right.
Why would someone want to go into this field?
Well, I mean, for starters, can you imagine the satisfaction
Yeah.
of seeing something that you had a hand in
Right.
creating
Right.
come to life,
Yeah.
and then like out in the world,
Yeah. And people are wearing it.
seeing someone wearing your shoes,
Yeah.
that's got to be rewarding.
Yeah. It's got to be awesome.
Ah.
And the guide even mentioned like the income potential
Oh, yeah.
and career advancement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Experienced pattern makers
Yeah.
are incredibly valuable. They're highly sought after
Okay.
in the industry. So you could become a senior pattern maker. You could manage a team.
Oh.
You could transition to a design role.
Wow.
Some people even branch out and start their own footwear lines.
Okay.
The possibilities really are endless if you're willing to put in the work.
So it seems like a career with a lot of different avenues.
A lot of potential.
Yeah.
For sure.
But no job is perfect.
Right. Right.
So what are some of the challenges?
Well, I think it's no secret that the footwear industry
Okay.
is known for,
Yeah.
demanding deadlines.
Yeah.
It's fast-paced.
Okay.
So be prepared to hustle.
Okay. So be ready to work.
Oh, yeah. Especially during, those peak seasons
Yeah.
when new lines are coming out.
Yeah.
And because fashion is constantly evolving,
Right.
you have to be ready to adapt.
Okay.
You've got to stay updated on the latest trends, the technologies.
It's a competitive industry, right?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. But
Yeah.
that's where the passion,
Okay.
the dedication comes in.
Right.
If you truly love what you do and you're willing to really hone your craft, you'll find your niche.
Okay.
I really believe that.
I love that. Okay, so you had mentioned technology earlier, and this guide really highlighted
Yeah.
the use of software like CAD, 3D modeling.
Mm-hmm.
How has that changed the game of pattern making?
Oh, it's been huge. I mean, it's been revolutionary.
Wow.
You know, we talked earlier about those traditional hand tools.
Right.
They're still used,
Okay.
but CAD software has become essential
Okay.
for pattern makers these days.
Yeah.
So imagine being able to create a pattern digitally.
Make adjustments with a few clicks
Wow.
and then print out a perfect template.
Oh, wow.
The efficiency, the accuracy, it's incredible.
So it's not just sketching on a piece of paper anymore. You're
Yeah.
kind of like, you're sculpting the shoe
Yes.
in a virtual space.
Exactly. And then with 3D modeling, it gets even cooler.
Okay.
You can create virtual prototypes of the shoes.
Wow.
You can experiment with different materials, different textures.
Okay.
You can identify potential fit issues,
Wow.
all before you even cut a single piece of leather.
That's incredible. Okay, so technology, obviously, like transforming
Huge.
this whole craft. But for someone out there who's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even become a footwear pattern maker?
So there are a few different paths you can take.
Some people will start with internships, apprenticeships,
Okay.
learning from the pros.
Right. That hands-on experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Others might decide to pursue a more formal education route.
Okay.
So maybe a degree in footwear design or something related to that.
So there's not like a one-size-fits-all path to this.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
It really depends on, your learning style,
Okay.
your goals,
Right.
what you want to do, what kind of shoes you're interested in making,
Right.
the companies that you're, hoping to work for one day.
But regardless, you got to have a strong portfolio, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's key. That's your calling card, right?
Right.
It's what shows your design skills, your technical abilities
Mm-hmm.
to any potential employers out there. That's where your creativity and your precision really come through.
And speaking of,
Yeah.
finding those employers,
Right?
that's where a platform like RoleCatcher can come in.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've talked about some of their features before, but
Right.
the guide made it seem like they're really helpful for aspiring footwear pattern makers.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah.
And, so many people think of the job searching process as like tedious,
Yeah.
stressful,
It can be.
but RoleCatcher actually makes it fun.
Oh, okay.
Like they have this feature where it analyzes job descriptions
Wow.
specifically for footwear pattern maker roles.
Okay.
And it identifies those skills that the employers are looking for.
Right.
So you can tailor your resume or your CV
Mm-hmm.
to make sure you're highlighting
Oh, that's
the
great.
exact things they want.
Okay.
So no more guessing games.
No more like,
Yeah.
am I using the right words? Am I saying the right things?
Exactly.
And on top of that, they have like the interview question thing, right?
Don't even get me started. Game changer.
Right.
Because imagine being able to practice
Right.
answering those common questions
Yeah.
that they're going to ask you
Yeah.
specifically about footwear pattern making.
Right.
You get feedback on your responses
Okay.
all within this platform.
Wow. So it's like having a personal
It's like having a coach
coach. Okay.
in your back pocket.
In your back pocket.
Okay.
So for someone listening out there right now who's like,
Yeah.
this sounds amazing. This is something I might want to pursue. Yeah.
What is the most important thing for them to remember?
I would say it all comes down to passion and dedication.
Okay.
Because this isn't just a job,
Right.
it's a craft.
Yeah.
It's an art form.
It is. Yeah.
You have to have that fire in your belly,
Okay.
that drive
Mm-hmm.
to create something beautiful and functional and never stop learning.
Right.
That's the other thing I would say.
Always be
Yeah.
learning.
Always, because the footwear industry is constantly evolving.
Right.
So embrace new technologies, experiment with different techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to push boundaries.
I love that. And you know what? Maybe one day
Yeah.
we'll be seeing their designs
Yeah.
in magazines,
Exactly.
on celebrities.
Red carpets.
Who knows? You never know. It all starts with one stitch, one pattern.
There you go. I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking this deep dive with us.
Thank you for having me.
Your insights on footwear pattern making have been so fascinating. And to everyone listening, remember to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep following your passions. Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying. And before we go, here's something to think about. Next time you're tying up your shoes, take a moment to appreciate the artistry, the skill that went into making them. You might just be inspired to create something amazing yourself.